The ambiance is gone.
Yeah, that's what everybody comes here for. Nobody actually wants to listen to a podcast. They just want to hear
Ew.
like all of like the weird sounds or that either the people make, like you make a lot of weird sounds, or like the chairs make and
Yes.
stuff.
And
Maybe I
whenever I
mean,
start chewing on any food I have.
oh yeah, like I'm just eating this champ while we're talking. I don't think it's gonna pick it up because my microphone is like really really sensitive and like the gain's turned down and everything. But you can definitely tell that I have food in my mouth by the way I'm talking.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Also, I really hope I don't get interrupted. Because my dad has a penchant. If he finds something, he'll just be like, just fucking just slam on my door, like really loud. It's like, hey, look at this thing I found.
Oh,
Once
that'd be
he brought
funny.
a live beetle into the house, and when it started flying, he and my sister started screaming. It was
Nice.
awesome. That's my dad for you.
Yeah, you have a cool dad.
He's awesome. The beetle was cool, but I even told him, I was like, Dad, if that thing takes off, how are you gonna catch it? He's like, you know what? Yeah, that's a good idea. I should take it outside, and then he didn't. And then I wonder where I get it from.
Yeah, that's like that's a nice little antidote to start because we've been recording already.
Okay, doke.
Yeah. So this is
Yeah.
yeah, the PhasmaGORE. Hey, welcome back. It's
Hello.
been 3 years since the first
Oh my
time that we
god.
did this. Yeah, something around there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wasn't it
mind you,
closer to 4? Because I remember being
I
19.
maybe I don't know. I don't even I didn't look at the date. The only reason I know it's been roughly 3 years is because even though you're going to be the first one up, because I want to put these back up in the order that I kind of originally did it, I recorded Slimy's first, and he made a point, which they'll hear later when his goes live, that it's been like 3 years. I think. I don't actually know if that made it into the recording or not. He made a point to tell me that it's been like 3 years since we've done this.
Okay, yeah. That does check. I just know
Yeah.
for sure that when my episode was recorded, like I remember one of the questions being posed, like, I am 19, I'm super young in the scene, and now I'm 23.
Yeah. Still super young in the scene.
I mean, I'm not saying that's untrue,
Yeah.
because I mean, I'm still young, and I'm still working.
God, was I around like 29 when I recorded those? Because I have like a
I
decade
want
on
to say
you.
yes.
That's like the like we
Yes.
almost have that exact 10-year difference. Um, man, that doesn't feel like it was that long ago, does it?
It does not. It really does not, because I remember a lot of it clearly. I still had that old headset, which sounded terrible. And then shortly after that recording, I got the current one I'm using. And then I was like, man, listening back to the episode, I'm like, man, I wish I had a better, the current one I have
Oh
for that
yeah.
recording, but oh well.
Oh yeah, so much has happened since then too, which is another reason why we need to do this catch-up
Yes.
episode before I get on to trying to get new people on here. Um, Separately, we've done several stuff together since then, which we'll eventually get into that too. Like talking about your microphone, you did a comic dub for On Tour with Mitch and Sandy as the voice of Mitch since then. So
Yeah.
we'll get into that later. There'll be a lot of fun stuff to talk about while we're on this cast. But yeah, I don't know. How's the last 3 years felt for you? How's it been treating you?
I would say pretty dang well. In terms of like the creative aspects, like I would say a lot has changed, and I think maybe that attributes to how short the passage of time has felt, because I think when that episode went up, I was still animating, I was still pushing for animated episodes of Corvid Kid, it was going for a Monster of the Week approach, and since it's Corvid Kid has taken a completely different turn, and it's now been moved into a or more strongly moved into a comic format. I still want to do
Yeah,
animations, but Corvid Kid is primarily going to be a comic, and that is one of the biggest developments in the past 3 years.
I will take some blame for that. Not all
As
of
you
it,
do.
but I will take some. Which I think like last
In
time we
fact,
talked, because I don't
mhm,
remember. I don't remember everything, and I didn't bother to go and rewatch it. I was supposed to. I just didn't find the time to go and re-listen to it. But I think last time the most you had dove into comics, where maybe that was around the time you were doing the strips.
I believe so.
Yeah, I don't think you had actually done like a full comic yet.
Yeah, I want to say the strips were already a thing because I remember having a backlog and preparing it. Maybe it was around the same time as drawing it, but for sure it's same era.
Yeah. That part I take full credit for. Like I know you. That's why I only say
Yeah.
partial credit for the other stuff because I know you were already interested in making like comic books and stuff, or at one point in time you just hadn't gotten around to it. But I remember I pushed you into doing the strips because you were
Mhm.
looking for something that was easier to do during school than animation.
Yes, that's right. I was also in college. That's because that was like fucking. Oh, I hate
Oh
college.
yeah, you're not in
Ooh, I did
college
not like
anymore.
it.
That's a big change too.
Big one. I'm so glad to be out of there because it sucked. It's just, I really didn't like it because it took away a lot of time in my just day-to-day life for me and my artwork. And it was for graphic design. It wasn't even like real art, so it wasn't fun. But
Well,
now I'm gone.
okay.
Now I'm out of there.
Graphic
Mm.
design is real art. Okay, just
Well,
saying.
not
There's
what
a
we were
lot.
doing.
Yeah.
Cause
No, you
like,
don't get to do any of the fun stuff
uh,
in graphic design
it
until
was
you actually get hired by somebody to make something.
precisely, because what all we were doing was just logo designs, and it had to be for a made-up company that you made up, so it's like
Hmm.
they really wanted that sterile, cold type of design, just nothing fun. I mean, the closest I did get to fun was analog photography, and that was awesome, and that is the only highlight of my college life.
Well, you
Completely.
get to do a lot of graphic design now, though, because like a lot
Yes.
of comic work is graphic design, right? You have to do the layouts, you have to lettering is graphic design, you have to
Hmm.
come up with like how the cover's gonna look with logos and all kinds of stuff. So at least some of that will roll
Yeah.
over.
Yeah, credit to college. Yeah, I do feel that that the skills translated because like when it comes to especially yes, typography, that is a really big one. And now I know a lot of the terminology when it comes to kerning, the spacing between sentences and letters. Like I'm far more aware of that, and I'm at least glad, yeah. And especially for the logos for Corvid Kid and Battle Ball, I really like how those turned out. I'm always tweaking them, granted, in between covers. I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm
Oh, I have seen. Yeah.
adjusting like a little bit every now and then. In fact, for the cover of chapter 3, I'm gonna adjust it again just a little bit. Again.
I don't know what it is about my own personal background. Maybe it's the fact that I've been a writer for a really long time too. Maybe it's the fact that like I'm also an artist that I've had to do graphic design on commission, or if it's just the fact that I have to wear all the hats. But the thing that gets me the most about a comic is the typography and the graphic design. Like you could have the most beautiful art in the world. You could have the best story in the world. If your lettering sucks, I will just stop reading your comic. It's like the first thing that pulls me out of it. And talk about kerning. Man, your average person knows absolutely nothing about adjusting kerning at all. And that can
Mm-mm.
completely destroy an otherwise fine typeset, you know?
Absolutely. Because like as somebody who's doing handwritten uh typography, like every letter is like no tools, it's just the sketch underneath, my pure handwriting, trying to be as neat about it as possible, as opposed to, Firewood's and Slimy's work where he has the tools and like it's I feel like his is way stronger than mine because he does have the tools and he's also
Yeah.
like super aware of it. But at the same time, I kind of also like that my typography looks just like a tiny bit more, what's the word? Like a
Grungy?
little bit more, it looks a little more freehanded. Yeah, grungy, kind of. Because there's something about that tone that it sets for the comic that it makes it feel more personal, and I like that. Though I do try to make it look
Yeah.
as neat as possible.
Well,
Legible.
obviously, for if people don't know, a bunch of us all have like a group chat where we share our projects and stuff together. So like we see basically everyone except for my stuff early, because I'm like the only one who, if I am working on something, I just don't ever share it until it's done. Sometimes you get private DMs from me if like I don't know, I'm penciling or inking X Dynamis Chaos, and I think
Hmm.
that something's like particularly funny, I'll send it. But I'm not the type of guy that typically shares my work while I'm working on it. A habit that I'm trying to change with the patron. But like you and Slimy share your stuff. all the time, and Kekero's in that call too, and uh, we get to see each other's stuff. And if you've noticed from my habit, I tend to be attracted to grungy art, even with like Slimey's asking like which one of these two look better. Typically, I always tend to favor the one that looks grittier and grungier. I I,
Yeah.
I guess that's just kind of like the nature of always liking underground and indie art since I was a kid. But that's a facet of your art that attracts me to it. Is I like the general
Hmm.
grungy nature of it.
I'm glad too because that's also something I'm attracted to also in other people's art because personally, I don't like a lot of I guess like modern art where it's like heavily the airbrush tool like whole what is it? Not debacle, but the idea of just like oh everything's airbrush style, like everything's so painterly, it's so clean, it's hmm.
I do
I
a
don't
lot
want
of
to say
airbrushing, but
bland, but it's
that's
just
intentionally to make myself look worse.
mhm.
Well, because I
That's so
actually do
fair.
think that airbrushing in general, like if you're just using it as a lazy tool, because that's what they use, it's because it's easy to airbrush
Yeah.
something, does make something look worse. There's places to use it, like when I do, like what I would consider better or higher quality art, stuff that I put a lot of
Mhm.
time into. I still use the airbrush, but I'll usually use it like in conjunction with other stuff, maybe to get a little bit more of like a blend or blur here and there, but it is like really lazy. That's the main reason airbrush became popular because it's
Mhm.
clean and it's lazy.
Well, I try not to use it because I like grit. I like texture. I like something with a little like a harsher edge to it or even like my artwork where it's like it's not exactly high tier or it's not exactly like uh, painterly, I guess. It's more amateurish. I think that's the word I'm looking for, where my artwork
Yeah.
is more amateurish. It's something I am wholly proud of. It's like I don't want to fit in with what everyone else is doing because I find it too samey. Like it gets stagnant. I want to be different, even if my artwork does look a little rough around the edges. It's
Yeah,
like
they wouldn't
that's
necessarily call
me.
it the fine arts. But you know, like that's
The
the thing
poshness.
is it just comes down to a lot to taste, right? Like there's a lot of like skill involved in making like a very detailed uh kind of like oil paint looking near photographic background, but it just
Yeah.
doesn't fit the tone for everything, right? And
Yes.
you look at like some of the best artists, right? Like Picasso is somebody who was praised for generations, right? And he's the type of guy who's like, oh, no, no, no. After I got good, after I learned all the techniques, I had to learn how to paint like a child again because that actually turned out to be better.
Hmm.
Right.
Wasn't he also severely unappreciated in his time?
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Well,
Ugh.
he was appreciated more towards the end of his life for sure. But yeah,
Oh.
more things, more appreciation came afterwards.
Oh, that's at least good, because I
Yeah,
know
because
it's like,
Picasso wasn't
oh,
that long ago.
yeah.
He's like a contemporary artist, realistically speaking.
Oh. Oh God, I didn't know he was that relatively recent.
Oh yeah,
Because I
yeah, yeah.
picture all of them as in like the 1700s. Every Italian painter exists in the 1700s to me,
Really?
in my mind, yes. And I
You know,
took Italian
Picasso was still
Renaissance
alive when
class.
the moon landing happened, right?
He was?
Yeah, he was in the
Yeah. Oh,
1900s.
yeah. Really?
Yeah, are you
Oh,
thinking of the
Pablo
right
Picasso.
guy?
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
No, I was thinking of the other guy. Sorry,
Okay.
that's Pablo Picasso. I was thinking of
Yeah,
Van Gogh for some
yeah.
reason.
Yeah, no, Van Gogh was definitely not appreciated much during his life by anybody, for that matter. Even try to like
That also sucks.
woo that woman over, right, with a body part. So it's like, eh. No, Picasso, like I said, during the later life, he was widely regarded. Like people would go to try to get his
Hmm.
autograph and everything. No, no, no. But like
Okay,
he's
yeah,
a
he was like
contemporary
the
artist.
abstractionism guy.
Hmm. But and he's the one though that he does say that that he had to like basically spend his entire life, his entire career, learning how to make art like a child, and there's more to what he said than what it sounds, right? When you extract it, because he still makes art better than a child. But it's like if you had that whimsy, that
Oh,
wanting to go outside of the lines, freedom to just do whatever you want with art, but also having all of that skill and talent developed from learning the finer arts, then you can make something that's like truly unique and wonderful. That's what he was going for with it, and a lot of people almost misquote it like, no, look at Picasso. I don't need to learn any art techniques or anything. It's like, he knew like every art technique. The dude was an art scholar, you know. Like if there was a
yeah.
technique that was established at his time, he went out and learned it. He just didn't necessarily use it unless it was gonna like come back in some other way in what he was working on.
Yeah. Unless it was going to elevate the piece. It's like the whole saying of, oh, you have to learn the rules before you break them. It's like
Yes.
you have to understand shapes and form before you start to change that or warp it. It's like that's why a lot of artists that we know do studies.
Yeah, yeah. Well, this I always tell people do studies. You just like I think we talked about this last time too, probably. So I don't really want to be a broken record, but I'm gonna say it one more time. Still life. Do still life studies. Nobody does that anymore. I don't know why. Just take some random objects in your house, put lighting on it at a unique angle, and do a value studying of those random objects. You can learn how like lighting bounces off of different things and how to get different shapes down in your head at different perspectives. It's one of the most basic things every artist should be doing. And man, I used to have to go off on people in the Newgrounds festival
Hmm.
server, like, do still life.
I have to agree too. In fact, I forgot before I even took the graphic design course, I was
Yeah,
doing some other arts degree. But yes, that's all we were doing in those classes, still lives. And sometimes we'd assemble our own, or sometimes in class. I would say I feel like I grasped a lot of where I have my shape language, I guess, in my artwork. I feel like I got a lot of that from still lives, and I liked
yeah,
doing, say, like polyhedral dice. Those are really fun to draw because
they
they have
are.
different faces and the different values that catch on the faces. I love that. It's so fun. Just yes, I love still lives, especially assembling just something together in my house and just putting it together, and it's like boom, that's a piece right there.
Yeah, well, the reason it's such a good one is because like all your, well, maybe not all, but most of your major principles are there in still life, right?
Hmm.
Like you have your values with tones and reflections. You have your shapes and your forms and everything. Perspective is heavily involved in. It's like most of the major principles you need to get down as an artist are right there in a single practice. You don't even have to do it too often. You just like leave a setup for it, and that can just be your warm up for the day. Even if you're going to do cartoons, right? Warming up with a still life is going to make your cartoons better. Just like anatomy will
Speaking of,
too.
yeah, speaking of shapes and form, I think because like I like to gush about it whenever I can.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love a Troom because he's just shapes and form, but I get to have fun with it. I love drawing a Troom.
Yeah.
I've been drawing him for years, even before Corvid Kid was even a concept. I've been drawing him for like about a decade now.
Yeah, because he's like he's got some general shapes that stay with him
Hmm.
more often than not. Obviously, even those are subject to change depending on what the shot calls for. But then, like the rest
Yes.
of him outside of that general shape is almost like a liquid or like a smoke getting to just whip around the way it
Yes.
wants to.
Exactly, and whenever he gets like angry, it's like a more fiery, sharper shapes. Just oh, he's fun to animate. He's fun to
Hmm.
draw. I love a Troom. He's just and it's so interesting seeing whenever other people do their takes on a Troom. Like Palm did one, and like her shapes are also really crazy. Like she has very unique way of
Yeah.
what is it? Just like depictions of the form. It's just yes,
Which,
I love
if you're
when other
listening
people
to
draw
this right
Troom.
now, you should go, even if it's just a quick sketch, draw a Troom, like fan art, and then just like tag Phasma in it, just for fun. It's a good exercise. Just do it. That's an order, actually. You should do it.
Do it
A
now.
Troom is great.
A
It'll be
Troom, my
it'll be
beloved.
our. Well, it's not even a contest or anything. This is it's just strict strictly an order that I'm telling you to do.
Hmm.
And
Oh, yes, that also reminds me, Crassus actually did a 3D rendition of Utrum. It's something I think about every now and then, but I also really like how he depicted the forms. Just, I'd like to also shout out Crassus. Great 3D work.
yeah, Crassus is pretty good. I've drawn a
Hmm.
Troom twice now in
Yes,
two very very different ways. Like they're not even remotely similar to each other.
in two different art styles.
Yeah, yeah. And both of them I was trying to capture somebody else's art style, right? Like the first one, I was leaning heavily into Tite Kubo's Bleach, but more of how they adapted his style into the early anime. And then in the
Hmm.
other one, I was also capturing an adapted version of somebody's art style, and it was like the Ranma One Half anime for Rumiko Takahashi's, which led to two very very different Atrums. Like one is this almost demonic looking like smoke cloud that's wrapping around Samson, right? And then the other one is like chunky bird.
Yeah, with those Rumiko like animal eyes she always does, where it's like a
Mm-hmm.
little bean
Mm-hmm.
shape. I love that. Oh, and
Yes.
even in like my latest piece too, a Troom's just a crow, but I'm also trying to lean into like a little more lighter hearted tone even with him,
Reject
changing
bean
it up.
mouth, embrace bean eye.
Yes.
Yeah. So we'll get into that a little bit more too, since bringing up comics, and that is actually primarily your hat these days. Like you haven't even really done much in animation in a while, even though I know you want to get back into it when you have enough time. But your hat is
Yes.
pretty much comic creator these days. We are have we gotten? You're on 3 now, right? Is that what you're finishing?
Yes.
Yes. So we've got 2 completed Corvid Kid chapters. You're on chapter 3, nearly completed. I know you've been working on that for a while. So, what is your experience or just your overall vibe shifting tones from making an animation for Corvid Kid to making it in this like comic book chapter format? And I know I'll state that before you answer that you did at least start to novelize it first, almost as like a prescript before you even got to working on the comic. So how does all of that play into the shape of Corvid Kid now?
I would say firstly the vibe that I got moving from animation to comics. The first vibe I got was, oh, this is just storyboarding. Like that was definitely my first impression. It's just the movement is gone, but not, or rather the animated movement is gone, but movement is still there, but I just have to change how I present it. That's that's what I would say it is. And then I feel like the body of the work has shifted. Like I mentioned in the beginning, it started as a Monster of the Week format because that's what kind of lends itself better to an animated episodic format. It's like, oh, this week it's the big TV demon. Like this week it's the demon in his nightmares. But then I didn't quite like it. It was more of a proof of concept and I wanted to change it. So going into the novelization and the comics, it presented me with that opportunity. And I did shift
Yeah.
it into more like overarching narrative. What do you call it? Format? I forget what the exact term is. Novelized?
A
No, but
little.
it's just serialized, right?
Yeah, I mean it is serialized, but you could
Yeah.
serialize something with Monster of the Week too. It is more of like this this like narrative arc structure. I think is probably the closer way of putting it, where you just have like this
Yeah.
longer arc that is covering multiple episodic adventures, right?
Hmm.
Which,
So
like, I
now
know
it's
when
like,
you started, right?
mhm.
Like, you definitely had ideas of what you wanted to do with Corvid Kid, but you were also participating in the jams, so to like almost force you to do it. So, pun
Yes.
intended, you were kind of just winging it at the time.
Yes, I was. Every time a prompt came out, it's like, okay, that's gonna be my script for the episode too, because it was stay awake. That's the first prompt. Stay awake. So it's like, oh, that lends itself well into the nightmare, which is, oh, that has become a really strong staple for Samson and the entirety of Corvid Kid. A lot of
Yeah.
dream-like elements are very much present. The second one was summer cartoon or Sunday cartoon, not summer. It was Sunday cartoon. That was harder to work with. Oh, I forgot what the last one was.
I think it was a Saturday
Oh,
morning
it was,
cartoon, not
yeah,
Sunday.
Saturday
Because I
morning
remember
cartoon,
there
and
was
then it
even
was
like a
games.
yeah, there was games, but there was even like a big Saturday morning cartoon block with all of the entries that we all watched together. I stayed up for it because
Yes.
otherwise I would have been asleep. And I got my cereal set down. Everybody was in their pajamas in like Discord watching it together. Though I get probably it was hard to get into the Discord. It would have just been better to watch it on YouTube anyway because I don't think they were streaming in the Discord. It was just like we were all in call, and then you just had to watch it on YouTube. It's like okay, whatever.
But yeah, that was such a big change. Just now the narrative has taken a completely different direction. It's now more focused. I know where it's going. I know the beginning, middle-ish, and the end. So it's like I have a much stronger grasp on the story, also a stronger grasp on Christianity as a whole, because that's a big part of Corvid Kid's identity too, now that
Oh
I'm
yeah,
actually
yeah.
going through the book. It's a long read, but it's a very interesting one, and it's so compelling. Even like it's a good book as is, as long as you have supplemental reading that kind of explains certain things to me, because
Yeah,
ooh,
or
a
you
lot
could
of the
just like
context I do
DM me
need.
when you're confused and I just give you the
Yes.
answer.
It helps a lot because it's
I
very
deserve it though
confusing and contextually heavy.
because I was the one that pushed you into like, hey, if you're going to be making this type
Yes.
of series, you should probably learn more about like the source material.
Yeah, now you're doing missionary work again.
Oh yeah, it never stops.
Nope. The
It's
good
okay.
work
Anytime
never
that
stops.
I push somebody into something, I kind of take full responsibility. Like I can't complain about answering your questions. I've got a buddy who's like much older that I got into like playing Star Rail. And every
Mhm.
time there's like a new patch, new characters are coming out, he gets a character. He like asks me everything like, is this character worth getting with what I have? What are some good team comps? It's like, you know what? I pushed you into this game. I deserve to have to answer all of the questions that you have.
I did this to myself.
Yeah, it's
But oh
literally
my
the
god.
definition of just desserts.
And maybe someday Samson will have a happy ending, because oh my god, the things I have planned for this kid, I feel so bad. Sometimes
Yeah.
I lie awake at night, I'm just like, what am I going to do to you? It's like, no, my beloved. And I'm so glad he's actually sticking with a lot of the friend group too, because I feel like, and not to be rude to Slimy, but I do feel like, because well, maybe it's because my work is also older, but I feel like I get more questions about Corvid Kid than I do see maybe questions about Firewood. Granted, I'm not Slimy, so I don't know how often he
Yeah,
gets asked
like
about it,
you don't
but
know
I feel
what
like it sticks.
DMs or anything you get from that. I don't know.
Hmm.
There's
I'm just
oddly
fine
enough too.
stuck.
There's more firewood to read right now too than there's Corvid
Yes.
Kid, but I do think having the animation stuff did help people get a little invested into it before the comic. I was telling him this too during his that when it comes to comics specifically, if webcomicking is where you're growing your audience, typically it's about once you have 5 completed chapters, which is at that point that people become invested because they can binge those 5 chapters. That's when you
Yes.
usually start growing your audience.
Oh, and that actually reminds me that too, even too about Battle Ball. I feel like that's not something I also get asked about too. Granted, it's a work that only came into existence,
Yeah,
what,
I was
like
gonna bring that up
a few
after
months
we
ago.
were done talking about Corvid Kid for a bit, but we have
Hmm.
talked about Corvid Kid a lot, so we can move on to that. Battle Ball didn't even exist, I think, even as a conceptionary idea when we had our last uh, Underpass interview like this. I know it
Oh
existed for
yes.
a while before you ended up making the comic for the contest, but it's pretty new. Like even to now when this is recording, it's still pretty new. It hasn't existed for very long.
Fresh.
Um, Trying to remember which one was that made for the same one that I made the Bodacious Bikini Battle Babes of Burgess Bay. Was that the Sweet 16 contest or was that the Jump contest?
No, that was the jump contest.
It
The
was the
Sweet
Jump. Okay,
16 is actually where I debuted the first Corvid Kid chapter, at least the
that's
first 60
right.
pages.
Yeah. See, even like as a comic, Corvid Kid's not even really all that old.
Oh god,
right? Like I think
that's
it's
true.
maybe a year ago now, but still, it's still not that old.
Yeah, it just always feels old to me because it's such an old concept I've had since high school. So I sometimes forget, like to everyone else, it's a very young not progress, young property, the young IP, young
Yeah, yeah, young
property.
property.
Yeah.
That's what IP means, intellectual property. Um, yeah, well, that's why I was saying the animation is probably what helped a lot of people with the
Hmm.
interest and investment in it, right? Because you were active during the summer jam, so a lot of people saw it to the point that like a lot of people now even just kind of see Corvid Kid as like a younger Newgrounds property or whatever, like how you would see a lot of
Yes.
the older people who their stuff starts on Newgrounds and they go somewhere else. To the like you were or Corvid Kid, Samson particularly was in a few of the animations that were made for the different festivals and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
People will sneak Samson into a bunch of stuff now. He's been moving around for a while in between the animations and when the comic starts. He's got a lot of
Yeah,
prep
he's
work.
moving. And then just like I feel like in comparison to Battle Ball, it's like, oh my god, this is another one I'm starting, and it's like a lot less eyes are on it. It's less fleshed out. Granted, what's out is more of a prologue than anything. I'm also very excited to get into starting that one too. Animating it, that's gonna be tough because while doing the Battle Ball not prequel, I guess it's just the comic currently, I feel like I have to adjust the main character's design because, oh my god, I kept forgetting so many details. I think even in the published version, there are probably a few mistakes that I've caught where I've maybe forgotten a knee pad or like a bracelet. I feel like I've forgotten the gloves in like two panels and I had to re-edit that. It's like, oh my gosh, like
Yeah.
it's such a newer concept. I still need to tweak it. I know roughly where the story's going, and it's like the same process all over again with with Corvid Kid. It's like I'm figuring this new IP out, and I'm excited to get it out. And oh my god, animating it's gonna suck, but I want to as well.
Yeah, and
But
we're not going to
I'll
talk
get
about
there
the other
eventually.
one because you don't have literally anything published of it yet. So, as a concept, it's not worth talking
It's a
about.
secret.
But you do have the problem where it's like, oh, yeah, I've got these things I should be working on. Here's another one, which I can relate to. And that's no shade there.
Yes. I know X Dynamis Chaos, but have you heard of uh Realms and Relics?
That one was
It's
never
like
even going to
I'm
become a
in the
pop
same boat,
property
man.
originally, right? Like Realms of Relics was made in the same way a
Mm.
lot of these are as a contest, and it's like, yeah, but now
Oh,
I really like the story. It's like it could go places. I know
yes.
where it can go.
And you know what? That's not even to mention the new concept we're working on, Dreamscape Dilemma. That's even a
Yeah,
joint
yeah.
project, and it's
Which
like
I do
caught
want to talk
between
about that.
all of our other projects.
Yeah. Which we'll get into
Mm.
that probably closer to the end of this. Uh, which because before we
Oh,
would
okay,
get to
doke.
that, there's other things that, like I said, that we've worked on together that I want to get to, and I want to get to your stuff first more than anything. And oh
Okay,
my
doke.
god, my I forgot to put my phone on Do Not Disturb. I just heard a chocobo go off.
Aha!
Oh yeah.
But it's
Talk
fitting for
about
my
being
episode.
the professional over here, right? The guy who does the interviews, and I forget to put my phone to silent. Actually,
For
I think
fame.
at the beginning of the Slimy interview, I'm complaining about that too, where I did remember to put in Do Not Disturb, but Facebook just like bypassed the Do Not Disturb, and I got a notification anyway. It's like, okay, now I just have to turn off
Oh,
all of the sounds on my phone altogether. It's like, why are you like that, Facebook? Why are you so invasive? I hate that
for
app
shame.
so much. Like I have to use it to keep in contact with certain people because there's some people that's like the only thing they
Mm.
use. But man, if you don't use a single meta app for like 5 minutes, they will start being like, "Oh, we need to send you notifications anywhere. Here's a thing you might like. Here's another thing you might like." It's like, leave me alone, for the love of God. I can do
Keep me and my
discovery on my own.
information out of your hands. Yes.
Yeah.
But
It's also why Newgrounds is the best, least invasive thing ever. Right? If you want anything from it, you have to go to the site.
mm-hmm.
It's not coming to you. So that you know that the people who are there are people who actually want to be there.
Ugh. Yes. Oh, I also forgot to mention in Battle Ball, something I was also really excited about, maybe something I could expand on as it goes on. I featured two of Blue Banana's characters,
Oh,
Rosetta and
nice.
Chill. I feel like I want more of those characters. I'm excited for what he puts out, so maybe one day
Yeah.
he'll be on the Underpass.
I would
Someday.
like to talk to Blue. I'm gonna have to. He actually I wanted to talk to him last time, maybe a few years ago, and he was kind of skirting me. So I don't know. Maybe he'll feel a little more confident now that he's got
Less.
like some animations and stuff down. But
Mm-hmm.
he's not a very confident person. Blue needs more confidence, more confidence than he actually has. Absolutely. But
And also more Rosetta and Chill. I love these
yes.
characters. I want more of them.
But let's break the meter for a second and talk about some Skeeter. Let's actually talk about Battle Ball. Where does this idea
Okay.
come from? I know where it comes from, but the audience doesn't. So like, it, throw me the pitch for Battle Ball first, and then we can start talking about some of its influences and why you're even working on it at all.
Yes. So, Battle Ball is a sport. It is leaning into that sports like shonen where we follow the exploits of Carlos, aka Skeeter, in his both day to day life and in his underground life as he tries to navigate both while going through high school. So, on one hand, we have the A side story where we go through his typical school struggles, his school life, what he goes through in his normal life, his struggles with poverty. He has no dad. It's just his mom and his sister. It's those struggles. But by night, he's what's it called? Underground? Yeah, underground. He's a participant and upcoming rookie in the underground sport known as Battle Ball. It's I'm a little rough on the details because I haven't figured out the timeline events. But Battle Ball has been an illegal sport for a while, and it was also largely inspired by Lethal League. That's where it came from. But and here's the big thing. I like or you know what? I actually forgot to mention there is one other inspiration. It was Lethal League and actually the Super Smash Bros. Melee scene that inspired it a lot, and I liked the dichotomy of both player and game, and that's why I like the idea of splitting off the story into A and B side, where you
Yeah,
have the more human aspects of it, like the normal aspects of it, and then the parts that Carlos has been hiding from both his family and even like his friends, well, the few friends he does have. And it's like, ah. And I like the ideas that I have for it, where maybe at some point, parts of his A life side start to impede on his B life side, because as we see at the in the prologue, he's a nobody in his day-to-day life. He doesn't have anybody, but maybe as the years progress, there are going to be things that stop him from wanting to actually participate in Battle Ball, the sport itself. And it's like, I'm so interested in how this is going to unfold because there are still some parts of it unknown to me, but I have a general idea of what do you call it? Conflicts and plot points I would like to have, as well as the mystery of who the other participants are. It's like,
yeah,
yes, Skeeter is his alter ego, but who are also these other alter egos in their day-to-day life, especially the reigning champion, which we didn't get to meet in the prologue, but it's going to be introduced in the first chapter where it's like, oh, there's this reigning champion, but oh, who is she? Like, she's such a mystery. It's like, ah. And Bolt, too, his robot companion. I want to go for a more. It's probably going to be set in the future because it's more high tech aesthetic. It's more. It's way different from what I'm doing with Corvid Kid, which is also why it's super refreshing because it's. Ah, I'm just so. I have so much to say about it. Ugh. But I think the
yeah, yeah,
main gist is that Skeeter was getting a bit personal. I would say that Skeeter is a very personal work to me because it also is serves as a reflection of how I kind of feel about my artistic side and like my day job side. It's like what who I am in my normal life is just like I work at a grocery store. My parents, they know I do art, but it's like there's more to it than just oh I draw comics for a living. It's like I'm also doing interviews here. It's like the Newgrounds side of my life, to
yeah.
be dramatic. But yeah, it's a very personal work that is more like, granted, it's more comedy, but there's gonna be drama. I'm so excited for the dumb drama that I'm gonna introduce.
You're also like
But
really into jackets. Like every single one of your main characters has some type of like
yes,
unique jacket that they wear.
yes, they do. Despite the fact that I live in Texas, where it's broiling summers like
Oh, I know
every
how that
season.
feels.
Ugh,
It's like the second
sucks,
it's
but
jacket weather. I'm pretty resistant
yes.
to the cold too. Like in Texas, unless it snows, and even then
Mhm.
maybe not. I don't really need a jacket. But the second it's like even jacket weather, it's like I don't care. I need the excuse. I want to wear my jackets.
Yes. Ugh. I A funny thing too is both of Carlos's like alter egos, or both Carlos designs, both Skeeter and Carlos both wear a jacket.
You know?
Granted, two different ones. One's a hoodie, the other one's an open coat. Oh, and there's also that, what do you call it? Not interesting, but that detail of his design where it's like one's closed off and the other's like wide open, like more broad, and what's the word? Braggadocious? Yeah, it's
Braggadocious.
braggadocious. You know what I mean? Like, he's just a loudmouth, bratty kid who's just like
Yeah.
stuck himself into this sport. And he's
Yeah,
like,
that's
"Yeah, I'm here. I'm gonna make my mark."
a word I
I
have
love
not
him.
heard in a really long time.
But I mean, it's what I would use to describe
Yeah.
him. He's just uh, brash.
Like
I think that was the word I meant
brash is
originally.
probably better.
Yes.
It's more fitting for what you're going with. But like, man,
Yes.
I remember during like the 90s and then even into like
Hmm.
the aughts during the whole like X game scene, which is still around, but it's just not as big as it used to be. That you would
Hmm.
hear that term a lot, right? That the word braggadocious would go around. You're like, you're using that word? Do you even know what it means? Like, is there a meaning to this, or are you just throwing it around because it sounds cool?
Well, because I'm assuming braggadocious means one who brags a lot, somebody who's full of themselves. It's like, yeah, I'm the shit. That's me. Like, that's what I assumed it
Yeah,
means.
yeah, it's boastful or tending to brag. It's an
Yes.
informal adjective that just came out of nowhere. But I mean, like most of the people who said that probably just heard somebody else say it and didn't even realize what it meant. They're just like, somebody said it. I thought the word sounded cool. It was kind of sort of in this context right here. Man, you're being really braggadocious right now. It's like I just said that. I caught a fish. It wasn't even a particularly big one. Stop being braggadocious, dude.
Dude, let out your inner frat boy, dude.
Oh yeah, dude. Frat
I,
boys are they're like the most fun characters to play.
they
Uh,
are
actually,
not.
you owe me that
Mhm.
character too. Like whenever you do eventually get to like animating again,
Yes.
we had like a stupid conversation where we came up with the frat crow instead of like the frat bro, and instead of saying bro, he
Yes.
just says crow all the time, and he's just gonna be like this
Ah,
fratty other type of. I actually don't even think he's gonna be a crow, right? I think we decided he was gonna be like a Stellar's J or something like that.
yes.
Um, but he's just gonna be like in hell. He's gonna be one of the few non-antagonistic people that Samson runs into.
I'm so excited. I'm stupidly excited to get to that character.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I have to introduce like the atmosphere of hell first. At least need to like wait. Oh, I can't get too excited because it's like the atmosphere of the shoal is very important because it's, the grave where
Yeah.
we rest. So it's like I need to also be. I have ideas for the environment. Probably gonna consult you about it as they do.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like, I'm so excited to introduce the environments and the scale of everything because, oh my god, I'm not gonna reveal too much, obviously, but the environments and as well as the scale of not just the environments but like its inhabitants are gonna be one of the big focuses, like leading into. I want to say that's gonna be at chapter 8 once I get there.
Yeah.
Chapter 8, 9, roughly give or take. I've scoped out where and what's gonna happen. But oof, be excited for those chapters when they come up. Once three's out, hopefully next week, this week, depending on how fast I am. Soon, it's coming soon.
Yeah. So everybody should be excited for that. Depending on when I can actually get nine on, because he's like of the three of you that I'm restarting with, the guy I'm missing. Uh, who knows? This might come out after that comic's already out.
Oof,
If it takes too long,
that's right.
I'm actually just
Hmm.
gonna like BX9 will just have to pick back up with you later. Just put yours in Slimy down anyway. But, I'm gonna give him at least another week. If I can't get in a week, then this stuff is already going up.
Oof, hopefully it's up by the time this goes up.
Yeah.
I hope.
Yeah, yeah. But, if anybody out there wants to make fan art of Skeeter, I insist that you use the
Please do.
tags Skeet Off and Beat Your Skeet.
Or, oh, what was the other one? I can't believe it's not batter. Yes,
Yes,
that
I
one.
can't believe it's not batter.
Please, please. Oh, I need to see these tags flooded, please.
Actually, with the I
Especially
can't believe
BD
it's not batter, you could put that for basically anybody that you'll see from at least any of the players.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think because because I forgot to reiterate a point. For the collaborative kind of nature of it, I would like to see if I could get other one of the artists we know well, I already have Blue's characters, but Kyu or Xeon to design some of the players because I think
Yeah, yeah.
also that would be interesting because it would also show that these other people come from different walks of life. They have completely different styles, and it's part of this underground nature. It's they're showing off different facets of their persona they usually don't, and it's I think that's
Yeah,
sick.
because you're going with that sort of mix between a sports and a battle shonen, so you kind of want to go with that thing where
Mm-hmm.
like everybody's outfit kind of represents a different culture.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right, I'll get you
Skeeter's
one.
culture is baseball.
I'll get you one.
Oh,
Don't worry about it.
yes, yes.
It's gonna be insane when I remember to actually do it.
Oh, dude, I'm so excited. I'm ready.
Yeah, yeah.
Ah, once I get
But
the script
yeah,
for that, I think I did get a script. Ah,
yeah. So let's also talk like I said, we've been doing stuff together as
mm-hmm.
well, just because we've known each other for a while. Almost everybody that I interviewed in that first season, if you want to call it that, the first like 12 episodes, were people that I had already known for I think almost a year before I started doing that.
Mm,
Right, since like the first festival or whatever. Uh,
yes,
we've stayed in contact since then with our little group, our midnight grind
the click.
club.
Ah,
Yeah,
yes.
and because of that, we've worked on a few things. One of them was one of my older projects that I think actually even predates us knowing each other. But I was looking for people who could really fit the zone of the characters of Mitch and Sandy from On Tour with Mitch and Sandy. That I am totally sticking with the gaslight that was always the name of the series. And
Oh
oddly
yes.
enough, is like I already knew two people whose voices I thought were like right in the zone that I wanted to be, which were you and Kekiro, because you kind of have that kind of raspier, almost like a classic tomboyish voice that would fit Mitch pretty well. And I had you hop on and do a dub of the first
Mm-hmm.
short that we did with that. Though I do need to get you guys back in to do a dub of the second short because it's been sitting there forever and I just never did it.
Yes.
How did you feel doing that? Did you enjoy voicing Mitch?
Yes. The boy bands line, the darn you
Yeah.
stupid boy bands is still something I think about. Sometimes I'm just be at work and I'm like, darn you stupid boy bands.
Darn you, I
Just yes.
say.
I love that one line. That one also sticks to me. It's definitely a new experience. Also going into it totally wigging it. It's just I know nothing about professional voice acting, but it's I am now Mitch. Once
Yeah,
I
yeah.
step into my recording booth, which is just my closet. but it's what
Which
I'm
is
working
funny
with.
too, right? Is
Hmm.
between the two people that are voicing the characters, the one who is the kind of like the singer of the group, the front man or the front girl, as you would say, is the one of the two of you that I don't think has any history with singing. Because Mitch is the one who actually does like the
Oh,
main singing for the band. Uh,
oh God, I don't have any.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that's unfortunate. I thought it was. I thought it was Sandy. Oops.
No, no. So Sandy does do a lot singing too, and she's actually arguably a much better singer than her sister, but because they wanted this kind of like mix between like pop and rock sound, um, Mitch having like this scratchier voice gives them a little bit more of like a Joan Jett kind of sound,
Oh, yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
And that's why they opted for Mitch to be the singer. But it's just funny. It's like, yeah, but I know that Keki actually does have history singing, so it actually kind of fits the characters, oddly enough.
You know what? I roll with it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I do need to get you guys back
I
in.
do dig it. Hmm.
I would like to hear those two voiced more, and actually have like
Yes.
another finished short for it. I need to actually go and make chapter one of their story.
Ugh,
Yeah, and that's not the only
I
thing.
look
So
forward
we're
to that.
also working right now, like you brought up earlier, on a comic called The Dreamscape Dilemma. I have a lot of history as both the artist and the writer of things. Sometimes only writer. I've written a novel before, uh, but you are usually the full creator of the stuff you work on, and this is
Yes.
kind of like a change of pace for you to kind of extrapolate and execute somebody else's writing.
Hmm.
So we can get into that. How has the collaborative process for this been so far? We're not that far in. I think like we're only like maybe a third,
7? Yeah, we're like
almost
roughly
a third.
7 pages.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
that's a third?
No, actually, 10 pages is a third of it. We're
Ah,
almost a third.
ah.
So you know,
Because I'm
if it
looking
was
through
a
the
normal
inks
20
again.
page,
Hmm.
then it would be closer to a third, right? Because 21. So we're almost there. Not even actually close to finish with the chapter. It'll be out eventually. Don't worry, people listening to this. But
Slow but sure.
yeah, how's the process been for you so far?
Definitely different. I think the first thing that always comes to mind is like the hardest part. It's like, how is the layout again? Or it's like, it's understanding that it's like, okay, 3 panels horizontal or 2 horizontal, or sorry, no, three. Yeah, it's typically 3 horizontal. It's like 2 on this row or 1 on this row. It's like, that's the first hurdle. It's like, okay, I need to
I
double
do
check
try
and make
to
sure I'm understanding this right.
make
Yeah.
it as clear as possible, but like writing a layout down is pretty hard. I've also told you many
Yes.
times that if you can't make heads or tails of it, I'll quickly just go into Painter or Photoshop or something and give you like a
Hmm.
sample version of the layout.
Yeah, I think only once did I ever like misread it and had to redo a sketch. But it's like, that's only once. Surely won't happen
Yeah.
again. But it's like, I think that's always the first hurdle. I would say the only hard part is just understanding like the vision. It's like, okay, is this the right atmosphere? Did I execute this tone right? It's like, I like how this looks, but is like, does it need revisions? It's like, oh god, like what if I mess this up? But it's like, well, there's always post, or it's like once I pass it through you, like any mistakes or anything that needs to change, nothing drastic, like that'll be fixed. And it's like, oh, sometimes it's a little bit of the worry. It's like, oh, did I get this right? That's the big one
Which
for me.
that's kind of funny to hear too, because like I am the most laid back and chill person to work with.
I know, but it's me in my head.
Yeah. Like most of the
It's like,
time, unless there's something, which I don't even think there's been anything that I've had to like really get down on, except for
mhm.
when we were trying to figure out how simple small things should look if we're like really zoomed out, like the bird's
Yeah,
eye
yeah,
view
yeah.
of the baseball field. I think that was like the only thing I had to get onto you about, and you were pretty quick about fixing it too.
Yes.
But like aside from that, it's like most of the time you come up, it's like, yeah, that's pretty cool. Let's roll with that.
Okay. I think too, like the latest page, page 7, just that
Oh,
one
page 7 has
came
come
out
out so
awesome.
well.
I really like it. Just like, this one I think also is, what do you call it? I think it's a good mark of progress too. It's like I'm now getting into like the atmosphere more. It's like, it's like, yes, I'm getting the better handle of it too. Just the process of, okay, read the script, layout, sketch, and then I think usually don't do I usually check in with you with sketches too.
Usually give me like a
Usually I'm live
thumbnail,
streaming. Hmm.
right? And then, yeah, half the time, part of it is because you just forget to do it. So, like, we'll
Hmm.
be in a call together with a bunch of like our other friends, and then once everybody else is gone, you'd be like, now that we're in the zone, let me start working on Dreamscape Dilemma.
Yes. Because it works. I mean, it's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
it needs to be like the communication. We're not talking over nobody. It's like it's way more
yeah, yeah.
efficient.
We just need to do it
Just
more
it goes
often
faster.
because like this
Mm.
is not getting done at a rate that anybody's going to actually see this finished project anytime soon. Which, like I said, it's not the end of the world,
Yeah.
but it is going
Yeah.
to be a premium comic. Yeah, you guys can, listeners can only see the first 5 pages and the cover over on either of ours, Newgrounds. You could get to there from there, but the full one you will have to pay for. And there is a Patreon where you can see the pages as they're done. It's just like we're not finishing it at a rate that enough is coming out a month that I even feel comfortable telling people to go pay for it.
Mm.
Like if we were getting 2 pages out a month, which would still be kind of slow, but it would be more reasonable. Then I'd be
Yeah.
like, hey, you guys go pay for it. You'll get your thumbs, all your background stuff. You'll get to see the finished pages. But I don't even think like didn't like a month pass and we didn't even put one out.
No, I swear I put one out.
Did we get one
Well, a
out?
month
Okay.
has passed. I remember
Yeah.
the 12th of June was the last one I did,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's now the 15th, so a month has passed since the last one.
Okay, yeah, yeah. But there hasn't not been one in a calendar month at least.
Yes.
But yeah, it's like
Has not.
I don't
Yeah.
know. It's cool if you guys want to. What I would recommend now is like I wouldn't tell you to actually pay for what little we're getting out at a time, but like what you do is you wait till I don't know maybe page 10 is out. You pay for that month and then you cancel immediately afterwards. And then you wait for more pages to come out and then you pay for or you could just wait for the whole thing to come out. Because the thing is we're not even going to charge that much for it, honestly.
Mm.
Like we'll get enough that we'll get our cuts from it, but it's like it's a single chapter. How much are you going to charge for a single chapter, right?
200.
200 pennies maybe?
Well, isn't it roughly like around the $5 mark? I forget. Was
I
it? No,
think
wasn't it?
I
I
want to
don't
say
remember.
for this one because it's going to be a 30-pager. It's the premiere. It's
Mhm.
probably going to be a little bit more than we'll charge for the other ones, but I haven't quite decided. I'll have to look at like the market at the time that it comes out. It'll probably
Gotcha.
be somewhere between $3 to $5, maybe at $5. Everything after that, though, it's probably going to be closer to like two. Just it'll be a normal 20-page, maybe 250. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But it's going to
Hmm.
be like a normal 20-page chapter. And even that's a lot, right? For a digital thing, it's just like you're supporting an indie project. Um, we
Support
might
us
have
on
to
Patreon.
re-bill it. Yeah. But the Patreon is $5 a month. So it's like you get the full thing
Ah, okay.
digitally anyway. That's why like I probably won't do $5. Um,
Hmm.
that's a lot for a digital comic, especially only 30 pages. But like it's because you're supporting the project as it's being made that way, like you'll get the full PDF when it's done. You don't have to buy it again or anything. Um, it's probably going to be 250. Realistically, I think the first chapter is going to be 250 and then we'll probably be selling it for like a buck or a buck 50 after that.
Okay, well, hypothetically, if it was covered, would $5 then be acceptable? Or
if
is
it
it
was
still lower?
if it was what?
Fully colored?
Oh, fully
Hypothetically?
colored? Oh, yeah, yeah, maybe.
Okay. So there is a chance we can charge $5.
Well, again, this is for a digital comic, right? That's why I don't want to charge
Mm.
too much. If it was like print, right? I
Oh,
could,
I wish it
yeah,
was print.
we could do a print run sometime after it
Someday.
comes out. I don't
Yeah.
want to do print right away. Well, what I was gonna do is I was gonna wait until we had like the whole first volume done. If that ever happens, I don't even know if it will, but if it happens, then
Hopefully.
we'd do like a tankobon style like collection, a trade paperback of it.
Oof. Now that would be the day. That would be
That would
so
look
awesome to own.
really sick
Ah,
on your shelf, you know?
yes. Oh my god.
Yeah, yeah.
Just if I could hold all of my printed published works like that, that would be the day.
You know, currently I can.
I can't. I'm still working. I'm still getting
Yeah.
all of this out.
Yeah, yeah. But we're
Slow but
coming to the
sure.
end of the hour. I'm trying to remember what else. There was other things I wanted to talk about. Trying to remember
We
what they
covered the
were.
comics. We covered the animations.
Yeah, yeah. Covered
You can skip dilemma.
collaborations. Yeah. I'm not going to pitch that on here because this is your interview, not mine.
Fly with
And
me.
this,
I'll steal them all.
yeah. Plus, like, they can read the pitch on the post. It's like it's right there. I did a really good job pitching it on the post. But we all know like the actual reason that you're waiting for animation is for Q to be more free because
Yes.
you need her slave labor to
I
get it
wasn't
done.
gonna say it. I wasn't gonna say it, but I am. I am hoping she's available. And Xeon too, because once
Yeah,
he's also done with college, he'll be available to also hopefully
yeah.
produce more of his stuff. Because he did a comic for the previous, the Jump competition. So I'm hoping we get to see more from him too. It's like I want to do more stuff with Xeon and Q.
I want to see more people in general participating in that stuff. Like if you're listening to this, you're probably a Newgrounds like member. It's weird if you're not, or maybe you're listening to this 6 months later after this originally went up over on YouTube. But the number of people who re-listen to it or listen to it fresh there is very small compared to the number of people that actually listen to it on Newgrounds. Um, so you're probably a Newgrounds user. You see a contest like that, even if you're gonna lose, just go and make it.
Yes.
We've made, I think between both of us, both of our stuff that we put for the contest we've entered have been pretty good. Neither of us have won either contest.
Slimy did. I'm proud of him though. His
Slimy did
sprint
win,
comic,
yes.
awesome.
Which well, I did talk a lot about Sprint with him, but it's like
Yes.
you shouldn't go. You should aim to win, obviously, but you shouldn't go with the expectation to win, right? You should go with the expectation to make something badass. And maybe it's your first thing that you're making, your first time. You may not make something badass your first time, but you got to get past your first time, right? Like you got to take
Exactly.
those steps before you're actually going to get to something that's really good.
Yeah, I wouldn't be here if I didn't participate in that summer jam. I don't even know where I'd
Exactly.
be. That's so weird to think about. All this came from one competition. I didn't even win. I don't even think I placed. I think I was 13th. But I did it. And here I am.
I know you were a crowd favorite though
Was I?
in
I
the
know
summer
Brandy
jams
liked my
at least.
stuff.
Yeah.
And he was like the host, so it's like I'm glad it stuck with Brandy. But I'm so proud of Samson. I'm so glad he sticks with a lot of the people that do come in not in contact, but like who do encounter like Corvid Kid, like any media, whether it's the animation, comics, or like the single artworks I do. I'm so glad that he sticks, cause like
Yeah,
he's
he's a
my
cool
favorite
character.
too. Yes.
He is a cool character. I can't wait to see him suffer even
Uh,
more because, you know,
me too.
it's going to happen.
It builds character, guys. I swear. I'm not doing it because I want him to suffer. It's because it builds character. Okay.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
wouldn't
yeah,
be
yeah.
interesting if he had it easy.
Unlike his earlier suffering, that actually unbuilt character. He lost an arm.
Oh, he got unbuilt.
Yeah. A little destruction here and there. Yeah.
Well, at least if there's a Lego of Samson, all you have to do is just pop the arm off. Cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you just the minifig only comes with like one hand. Right, and it's like the color of the jacket, so it's like just like a loose jacket arm there.
That's so sad. Oh, the poor
It's because
baby.
they'd be too lazy to actually give him like a custom shorter bandaged arm on the other side. It would just be missing hand piece.
Oh, that sucks. It's just a hole where the arm should be.
Yeah. Yeah. No, no, like I think the
My
arm
poor
piece
boy.
would be there. It would just be a blue arm piece, like he's wearing his jacket. But you know how like
Oh.
with the
Mm.
minifigs, like how you could pop the little yellow hands out.
Oh.
It would be like
Oh.
you just had like a loose jacket sleeve there.
Yes. Which he probably would do because he's self-conscious.
And it'll
In
pop
fact, the
like
only
a little
reason I did.
pirate hook in.
Oh, the only reason I don't depict him like that is because, well, how would newer readers know, you know? It's like I
Yeah, yeah.
can't exactly hide it. It's right there, despite the
Yeah,
fact
I
that
mean, you
he
could
went to
always
the
do the
beach with that.
thing that a lot of people that have like upper arm injuries where they've been amputated
Amputation?
have to be. It's like you can have like the jacket tied in a knot at that point.
Oh, yeah, I have seen that. I've thought about it,
Yeah.
but I don't think I'd like to draw it. I think it's more fitting if he just kind of hides it, like drapes it beneath a loose long
Well,
sleeve.
what if it
It
turned
just
out
feels
that
more
he
like
had
him.
like multiple jackets that all look the same and they all do different things with the sleeve? You
Oh,
open his
that's a good
closet one
idea.
day and it's just like a bunch of different jackets with a different sleeve on that side.
Some are torn, some are tied, some are upside down sleeves. You know, the works.
Yeah. One's a wizard sleeve.
Yes.
Yeah. But I can't remember if there was anything else I was going to talk about. I think we kind of wrapped things up. It was good having you
Yes.
back on here. Like it's been 3 years.
Happy to be here.
I really need to continue doing this more regularly. Hopefully I don't just like disappear out of nowhere and then nobody sees me for another 3 years or something like that. But you know, we'll keep in touch. We'll keep things going. This should be the first one that people see or hear or whatever. I don't know. Um, and yeah, we'll see you guys later.
Of course. Sayonara.